Hey crafters, it's Julie Creek from Creek Bank Creations. I'm in my studio in Indiana. I just prepared a video for you covering the oval stand-up die set from Creek Bank Creations that I designed. There is a stamp set that coordinates with it called Sentiment Strips for the Oval Stand-Up Card. And that die, I explain how the stamps and the dies work together. And at the end of this video, I share with you a card that I've made. And when I made the card, I used the All Is Calm stamp set. I designed that stamp set, All Is Calm, and the Scarecrow Greetings die. The Scarecrow Greetings stamp to match and fit in the oval of the oval stand-up die set. So they're made to work together. They're sold separately, but they are sized to work together. We'll go over that in the video. So our special for the month of October, if you purchase the oval stand-up die set, the All Is Calm stamp set, and the sentiment strips that fit in the little pennant of the oval stand-up die set, we're going to bundle those for you and offer you a special savings. Woohoo! Who doesn't like savings? So the normal price would be like $47 something, $47.97, something like that. Our special for the month of October will run until October the 31st, 2019. We're bundling all three of those stamps for $40. And so you have a savings there, and then we're shipping it for free. We would normally be charging shipping on an order less than $75. So I'm going to share with you the video. When you decide, if you decide to order the bundle, you want to be sure to use the link that's the bundle that shows the die and the two stamp sets together. And when you put that into shopping cart, it will ship for free. If you have any problems, just shoot us an email, creekbc@gmail.com. We'll be happy to help. And all the products can be found on our website, www.creekbankcreations.com. Enjoy the video. Crafters, it's Julie Creek from Creek Bank Creations. I'm here to share with you today a new die for us called the Oval Stand-Up Card Die, item number D1960. It is a set, and I wanted to show you some fun cards that have been made with it and explain to you how the die works. So first thing, let's look at the die itself. And what we have is a very long package, and you'll see on the back here, if you flip it over, it shows you exactly what comes in the package and gives you the instructions on how to make the card base. This is a die set that is made that has the accent dies that come with it, and then you make the actual base of the card yourself. So you start with a piece of paper, you cut your paper, and then you add the accent pieces to it, and it can be tacked down like these are. I actually intended for this to be left loose so that you could put a signature or a gift card in the inside of that piece. So let's look at the actual products that come in the die package and explain how this works. When you open it up, this is what you have in the die package. You have two stitched rectangle dies. You have two banner pieces, one that fits inside of the other. You have the scalloped oval and the pierced oval. So this is actually what you're getting when you buy the set, and then you're building the set yourself. So here's our card that we're looking at, and it has the ability to open. So you start out with your own piece of paper, you score it and fold it. The stitched rectangle here can go on the top. The stitched rectangle for this piece fits perfectly at the bottom. You could also drop it in up here if you wanted to. And then you have the oval and the circle. So the way this is made is you accent your two background pieces, you accent your center piece, and you adhere that with just a little bit of adhesive up there at the top, and then you can fold it closed. It's actually meant to stand and be a standing card, or you could open it up and put a gift. Now you can see from the way some of our cards are made, have been made, that they're adhered shut. So you can use them either way. You can adhere them or you can leave them open. It's just a great little set. Now you'll notice here that we have some sentiments in the banner. The banner sets come with, and the rectangle set is made to fit right in that pennant shape right there, the banner. And we have a stamp set that I designed to go with it that fits in the banner set. It's got happy birthday, happy anniversary, Merry Christmas, happy Thanksgiving, sending my love, and autumn wishes. So this is an accent piece that fits in the pennant shape or the banner shape perfectly and makes a nice finish for your card. So let's look at some of the samples that we have. We're going to talk about the Christmas card a little bit more here in a minute. We have 2 autumn cards. Those are with the stamp Scarecrow Greetings, and just really nice autumn cards. We've done the backgrounds with our stencil brush, our J brush. This is a really sparkly happy birthday card, and cut with the oval background and the cupcake from the Alex fold over die set. Then we have a really nice Christmas card that's been foiled, and this particular set has the foiled Christmas tree, which is from the Creek Bank Creations set Evergreens. Isn't that pretty? Then we have, this is the Happy Birthday set. Balloon Birthday is the name of the stamp. Boy, that took me a minute to come up with it. So I don't know if you can see it in the video, but she has embossed the background with the same color of embossing ink, and then added the cupcake to this set. And that is the cupcake and the balloon, and that stamp is actually from, all 3 pieces are from the Balloon Birthday stamp set. Just really nice traditional card here with the evergreens and the Christmas stamp here, the Merry Christmas set. And those little red birds are from our tiny bird dies. And they're just really neat to have around to add, to throw into a set. Now we do have this really cool shaker card. And we've cut the background with the oval and cut the space out with that evergreen tree and added a shaker card to it. That's a really fun card. Who doesn't want to get a shaker card? So then we have the All is Calm, All is Bright stamp set here. Get this closer so you can see it better. And we have glittered the background of this piece. So I want to kind of share with you today how we did this card. It's kind of a cool little technique. And this opens up so you can sign it there, or you could put a gift card in there. So we're going to work on doing this project, only we're going to use a little bit of a different stencil. So what we need to do if we're going to make this card, by the way, when I have a set like this and it includes a stamp set that matches, I keep it all in the storage envelope so it all stores together. That way, when I need it, all I have to do is pull it out, and I have all my matching pieces together. We have the storage envelope and the magnetic sheet on our website. So if we're going to make a card like this, the oval stand-up card, we need our paper trimmer and a piece of cardstock and a scoreboard. We're going to take our paper and we're going to cut our paper 11 by 4.25 inches. Now whenever we cut, we always want to make sure our paper is straight up against that edge, and we're going 4.25 inches. That is the base card. This card is designed to fit into a standard A2 card. And now we need to score. So we're going to put the long side of the card up against the top of the scoreboard, and we're going to score at 5.5 and 8.25. That's going to give us that card, that basic card base that we needed. Okay. We're going to go down from the top, get our fold going really good, and then we're going to fold the top down. So there's our card, and we're going to fold the top down. That's going to give us that basic card shape that we need, and then we can add our decorative panels too. Now I've already pre-cut 2 panels to go into my cards. And this is what's nice about buying these dies all together in the set, is everything matches exactly. So there's my 2 panels, and I'm going to add some ink to my panel. We're going to do some stencil and ink background. So we need to stencil our background for our card. So I've die cut the 2 pieces of paper that we need from the rectangles. I have my stencil here. I'm going to do some stencil work with our J brush, and then we're using the Catherine Cooler Spruce ink. So if I'm going to do any kind of stencil work, I always want to tape my project down with a piece of tape right down in the center of my work surface. So I'm going to take my tape, I'm going to put it down in the middle of my work surface, and then when I put my card down, I want to line up my card on the line so that my card is straight. Then when I go back in and I tape down the stencil, I can be assured that if I line up the stencil on the lines of the grid, I know my card's straight, and now I know that my stencil is going to be straight. So what we're going to do is take our J brush, and we're going to pick up some ink, and we're going to drag that across. Now the J brush has this sliding head on it, and I designed this. I started with the makeup brush. I asked them to give us a natural fiber for ink, paint, and media, and made it collapse so you can store it. But when we're doing detail work, we pull it up for a nice tight finish. And when we're doing stencil work, we're going to pull it back. So today we're just going to pull that back, and I always just hold that with my finger just to keep it up. Whenever we use the stencil brush, we're going to start off on the grid, and we're just going to slide our way across. So we're just going to go back and forth, and you want to start off on the grid so that if you have a blob of ink, it's on the grid and not on your paper. So we're just going to keep working layers of ink, and we want to kind of darken this up because we're going to actually do another fun technique on top of it. So I'm just going to build layers. We can always add more layers, but if we put too many layers on, we have an issue. Now, when we're ready to take our card off, a little more there, we can pull off that stencil with the stencil tape. We have our beautiful pattern. Now, we adhered that down with that super tacky tape in the beginning, so we're going to take our undo and put that on right where that tape is, and that's going to lift the card for us. That right off of that tape, and then we will still have the tape there to reuse, and that undo is going to evaporate in less than a minute, and then when it does, we'll have permanent adhesion. So I can stick that down there and let that sit for a little bit. And undo will air dry in like less than a minute. So we're good. We're going to reposition our stencil, and I'm going to pull that down a little bit more. Reposition the stencil, and then we're going to ink the second panel that goes on the bottom of the card. So we're just going to slide some ink across. We're going to go back in. I want this ink a little bit darker because we are going to do a technique on top. So I do want a little bit more ink. I'm going to add some more. Okay. So we're using the J brush with any dye-based ink. Happen to like the Catherine Cooler inks, and we're using those. But if you own a dye-based ink like Stampin' Up! Or Close to My Heart or the Tim Holtz Distress inks, you can use those. I'm going to pull that card off, and when I do, I want to remove that little piece of tape that's in there and get that out of the way. We don't want it sticking on anything. Now we have this green stencil, and I love to wash off my stencils with the stamp chamois. Get your stencil clean, and then you can slip it back in your folder or however you keep yours. I have a little binder I keep my stencils in, so that keeps your stencils nice and you don't have the fibrous residue from the wet wipe getting caught in it. Now we're going to learn how to do a glitter technique with our panels. So we're going to take our super tacky tape, and we sell tape in a 3-inch roll or a 6-inch roll. And we're going to unwind it, and I'm going to cut off this little edge. Whenever I work with tape, I just like to keep a little bit of undo on my scissors just because it helps me cut through it better. We're going to get rid of this little piece of paper. And we're going to take our paper, we're going to put it face down in the tape, and we want to give ourselves about 1/4 of an inch, at least 1/4 of an inch of a border. We're going to do both of those panels. These are the panels that we're going to put on our card. That down, trim it. Now, if you tried, you can see my scissors are sticking in that tape. If you tried to unroll that, you would have a very difficult time if you tried to cut it. So what we're going to do is take our scissors and trim those edges. We want a nice straight edge out of it, but we know if we tried to cut it with the scissors, it would be really difficult to trim out. So we're going to cut the corners diagonally on all of them. Got a little bit of tape stuck on my fingers. And that one's a little long. I'm going to cut that one. Cut that diagonally. Cut that diagonally, and we're going to cut that one. We don't need all that tape hanging around. Okay, now we're going to fold that edge in. It's going to give us a nice, clean, straight edge. And then we're going to take our pick tool, and the pick tool is great to help you push off that tape liner. If you've got that tape liner stuck down really well, you ought to be able to get in and pull that pick tool, pick that liner right off. We're going to go around and do all the edges. I always do the short ends first, and then fold in the long edges. Now we're all ready to go. So what we want to do is take our glitter and glitter those panels. So what I have here is a dryer Swiffer sheet, and it's the dry one, and then we have our pixie dust. This is our pulverized glitter. We're going to pull the face off of that tape, and we're going to stick our card straight down into the pixie dust. We're going to do that. When we're done, we're going to move it over here to the Swiffer sheet, and we're going to burnish that off. Okay, and then you want to take your Swiffer, use that to remove any excess that you have on there. And then going to do the other panel. I'm sticking a little bit. I've got a little glitter stuff back there. I'm going to put a little glitter there. So if you use the Swiffer sheet, we're going to pull the tape liner off, face down on the glitter. If you use the Swiffer sheet, it really does help catch the glitter that's running around on the table. Except for if you flop it on the table. Like that. There we go. Burnish that down. Use your, you can see when the natural oils from your skin get in there, just really pulls all the glitter together. And now you have a beautiful glittery background for your card. So we're ready to assemble our card. We're going to use our tape, put our tape on our card, and adhere those panels down. And we're putting that right in the background. There we've made the background of our stamp. Now we're going to add the oval that we die cut and our panel that we decorate. I just drug ink across that. Our panel that we decorate. And that's going to make our presentation for us. So, let's see, we have all that glitter going there. It's a great presentation. So we want to add this decorative panel to the front. I'm going to use my Misty stamp board for that. And I've already die cut that piece that comes in the kit. It comes in that die set. It's the oval. And I'm going to use the All Is Calm stamp set for the front of that. I actually designed this stamp set, All Is Calm, to fit in that oval. So we're going to take our tree. This is called All Is Calm S1965. We're going to lay our tree down right in the center of our panel. Make sure everything's secure. And we're going to stamp that with the same green ink. I'm pulling a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, the Caterpillar inks are really juicy, so a little tap is really all you need. It doesn't take much. And you'll have your really nice stamped image. There's our tree. Very nice. Now we're going to wipe off our stamp with our stamp chamois. Put that stamp right back in package. And we want to get out the stamp that sits right next to it. And it is the star cluster. And the star cluster is designed to go right on top of that tree. So we're going to lay that on top. Now I have this little clear sheet that I've taped on the side of my stamp board that I use whenever I want to set stamps. That way I don't have to worry about the front of my image getting tracked up. Now what we're going to do is emboss that with the Wow embossing powder. This is the pad. This is super sticky. We're going to tap that on there like ink. And we're going to stamp right on top. And I've got that bar magnet in. We'll push it out a little bit. And I'm going to do it twice because we want to make sure that we get lots of embossing powder on that. What I love about the Wow pad is that there is a refill that comes for it. It's a roller ball, so you can refill it. And there's also a little pin. So if you mess up when you're using that pin, you can take the pin back in and touch up where you missed and correct problems. So it's a great product for embossing. Okay, we've got our star all done. We're going to take the Wow embossing bonding powder. Now, this is not, I called it embossing. It's not embossing powder. It's actually bonding powder. So it is made to actually do this technique that we're going to do, which is using foil on it. I'm going to put it on top of a piece of paper. Whenever you work with the Wow products, you want to make sure that you're not introducing more static into the jar. So they recommend that you work in an aluminum pie pan or a piece of paper or a coffee filter because we want to reduce static electricity. Now what we've done is we've just dropped that bonding powder on there and tapped off the extra. And really at this point, you can't even see what's on there. Let's put that extra right back in the jar. And we're going to heat that just like we would the bonding powder. And we'll clear it off. And let's put a little heat to it. Now, when you put heat to this, you will be able to see the bonding powder literally turn to gloss. It gets glossy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on the camera, but it'll turn glossy. Just look at it. So you want to heat set it just like you would if it were bonding powder or embossing powder. Now, what you want to do is to foil it. We're going to use the Wow embossing foil. This is sold in a little a thin sheet, and it's rolled flat, which people love because you don't have rolls. It's flat. So get it hot. Get the embossing bonding powder hot, and you're going to take your foil and lay it right on top of that bonding powder. Push it down with your hand and pull off the foil. And you can see how we've foiled our tree. Now, we have a few places that didn't get covered very well, so we're going to go back over, try to get those. So what we're going to do is heat that up, get it hot again, and it really works if you work in a region of the tree. Like I'm just getting the top hot right now. Put the foil back on and touch it up. And you can literally go in and touch up what needs to be touched up. Beautiful. Get the bottom better. And hit that star again. That is how we work the bonding powder with the stamp sets and the foil. So you can actually foil that star right in the stamp set. We have our card pieces that we are ready to assemble. We're going to take our tape, put our oval on top of our scallop oval, and then we have our sentiment. So that's sticking right on there. And you have your Merry Christmas card. Now we need a fresh piece of tape up at the top because we moved it in that glitter. You might need to add some liquid glue just to secure everything because that glitter wants to shift and cause the tape not to stick. So that is our stand-up oval card. It just is a really unique presentation. I hope you've enjoyed our video today. You can find these products on our website, www.creekbankcreations.com.